So polishing our piece by hand, I'm going to use these polishing papers, which you can buy from any metal clay supplier. They normally come in an A4 sheet, and I've just cut them into squares. So there are a bunch of them. So it starts with green, grey, blue, pink, mint, and cream. Just checking that one's the right way around, yeah. And they are different grits, so it starts with the most coarse at the top and the finest at the bottom. And they're not like sanding pads, they're not as aggressive as that. They're polishing papers, so they're here to shine the piece. So what I'm going to do is just place the piece on my hand, hold it any way that feels comfortable to you, and I'm going to rub on top of the piece really as hard as I can, as fast as I can, for as long as I can. And the guide is about 60 seconds if you can. So I'm probably going to do it a little bit quicker today for the sake of the video, just so that you guys aren't watching me do it for 6 minutes. But do spend your time on these. The more time you spend on each layer, the shinier the piece will be and the overall effect. So I'm just going to start with the green and give it a good rub. Remember, it's not fragile anymore, so I'm placing quite a lot of pressure on it. I'm just really kind of going for it and yeah, pushing down as much as I can. Try and get a nice groove. Don't worry about your hands, they will get dirty. It's all part of the polishing process. And just give it a good rub. Sometimes you might want to hold it on the table and do a section at a time. So there's not one way to hold it, it's whatever works for you. And I find different pieces are a little bit different. So sometimes I'll go in the palm of my hand and really go for it there. This one is a little bit tricky actually, more tricky than the hearts and the circles, which seem to stay more, but it's fine. We can overcome it, we can do it. So give it a good old rub. And like I said, I'd really go for about 60 seconds or so until you start to really sort of see a shine. But I am going to move through them because I just want to show you roughly the overall effect. So I'm moving through quicker than I normally would. So giving it a really good rub. So moving on to the next layer. Make sure you're using the right side, the side with all the colouring on. That's going to give you the effect. You don't want to do it on the back for sure. And I'm going to do this with all of my pieces. So if you're hand polishing, this is how you do it. Some people really enjoy polishing. They just do it while they're like watching a film or, you know, kind of just get really mindful and present in the moment. If you find you love making metal clay, but you do not enjoy the polishing, don't worry, there is a machine that does it for you. It is a rotary tumbler or a barrel polish. It's what most people use as they get sort of further on in their journey. So it's a really worthwhile investment. It will save you a lot of time and energy. But I will say that there's something about hand polishing. I think the overall finish, when you do it well, is better than the machine finish. So if you've got a really special piece, like you've got a commission or something you're making for someone and you really want that shine, it's really good that you know how to hand polish because you have that option there. So you can see it's really starting to come up now. It's really starting to look like a nice shiny piece of silver. We've got 2 more to go. And as I said, I'm zipping through these, but you can take your time and really give it your all, and it will pay off. It will look a lot shinier if you do that. And the last one, check the right side. That's it, and give it a nice good rub. I do love these polishing papers. They do incredible things for polishing jewellery. Okay, so we've got a really nice shine. So the final thing that I'm going to do, just clear my area, is use a tiny bit of GLANOL. I love using GLANOL. If you've taken any of my silver classes before, you've probably seen me use this stuff. It is magic. So I'm just going to grab a polishing cloth, or you can do this with a bit of kitchen paper towel as well. That works just as well. And I don't need very much at all. I'm just going to put a tiny little, smallest amount I can get out on there. And this is a metal polish. And I'm just going to spread it out a little bit. There we go. And then I'm going to rub it on. I haven't polished my back of my piece, which is super naughty. Make sure you polish the back of your piece as well. Use the polishing papers, exactly the same process. So I've rubbed on my GLANOL, and now I'm going to find another bit where there isn't GLANOL to rub it off. So I'm just going to give it a really rigorous rub. And normally it looks pretty awesome. There we go, super shiny. So I can see there's a few little bits still in there, so I'll just keep going. Try not to get my fingerprints on it. But yeah, it's really an amazing kind of finish that it gives. And it's incredible to think, you know, just a short while ago, this was a piece of clay. And now it's that solid piece of silver jewellery. So the final thing that I'm going to show you is how to attach it to a chain. Really simple. So I've got a jump ring here. Now jump rings you can buy online or you can make your own. We have lots of videos to show you how to make things like this. They're called findings in jewellery making, which are all the little things that connect bits of jewellery together. So this is a jump ring, a silver jump ring. Always connect silver with silver. I don't want to use silver plated on a solid silver piece because it will devalue it. When you're opening your jump rings, we've got 2 pairs of pliers. So I've got, it doesn't matter really what pliers you use, as long as they are flat on the inside. So no grooves, ridges, circular things, anything like that. So I've got some flat nose pliers and some chain nose pliers. And always open your jump rings this way and not side to side. So back to front, not side to side, because we don't want to ruin the integrity of the circular kind of look of the piece. So I'm just going to thread on my charm through that hole that I've made earlier. Sometimes it's a little bit fiddly, but it will go through. There we go. And I've just got a shop bought chain here. You can obviously put it on anything you want, a chain, a necklace, bracelets, I mean anything you like. And if you've got 2 on each side, you might do one, connect it to one, cut the chain in half and connect each side. So just holding that in place, I want to close the jump ring. Now, I'm not soldering this one shut. You could solder it shut, that's one option. But if you're not soldering it, you want to get a really good close. So what I'm going to do is wriggle side to side a few times. And can you hear that click? That's what you want to hear, the clicks, okay? That means that the metal is close to each other and there's also a bit of tension in it. So when I close it, bring it to an absolute close, I'm going to hold it up to the light. Well, it's not quite right. I'm going to give it another go, give it another wiggle. So I'm using the tension of the metal to actually hold the pieces together. So I'm going to hold it up to the light, make sure there's no gaps coming out. It's pretty close. I'm just being a perfectionist, so I'm going to go back in and do it one more time. Shout out to my fellow perfectionists out there. I understand the struggle is real. Okay, I think I'm happy with that. So there's absolutely no light coming through. It's a nice chunky jump ring. I'm confident it's going to stay closed. And there we go. It's as simple as that. There are quite a few stages, so you know, take your time with it. But it's amazing the kind of things that you can do when you kind of develop these techniques. This is just a very short, brief sort of intro class. If you want to learn more, go into some more detail, get your questions answered, come and join us over at jewellersacademy.com. We would love to help you develop your jewellery making journeys and also help you run successful jewellery businesses. We have lots of free classes on the site. We have a full membership where you can come and take any of our classes, loads of on-demand professional jewellery making classes from people all over the world. So I'll pop the link below, and happy jewellery making. I can't wait to see what you guys make. Do also come and share your makes with us over at Jewellers Academy. We're on Instagram, Facebook and all the other platforms. So have a wonderful rest of your day and enjoy your making.